YouTube. I am Natanis Likens, and this is kind of impromptu. It's very early in the morning, and we are what is today? It is September 8th, 2025. So, what do we want to talk about today? So, last night I saw an article and I read on it a little bit. It was talking about the lack of time travelers from 3025. And like trying to figure out the time travel problem, and stating that, you know, the potential is, or the implication is, that time travel is not possible for different reasons. Now, there are other explanations and everything that they were trying to use and everything, but I wanted to talk a little bit about this because time travel to the past is just flat out not possible. I don't care what scientists you're listening to or what TV show you're watching, time travel is just not possible. And I wanted to explain that. So first and foremost, I often hear physicists say that time is the fourth dimension, and a fourth dimension creature could pop in and out of time. Well, same thing as the time travelers. If that were possible, why haven't we seen it? You know, the universe is pretty big. We're a drop in the bucket. First and foremost, that's probably why is the universe is ginormous, okay? And the fact that we think that, oh, we're important enough that some time traveling fourth dimensional being is looking in on us, yeah, no, not gonna happen. Now, more importantly, time is not the fourth dimension. I don't know how many times I hear this and it aggravates the crud out of me. To our understanding and to everything that we've ever, you know, accomplished throughout human history, time is the first dimension. It is a linear path through the cosmos. And it is basically the first thing that we were able to measure. Like everything we do, all of our science and everything is based on measurements and how measurements work. Time is the very first thing we were able to measure. We have structures throughout the universe, throughout the planet, that are able to calculate time just based on the position of the sun, that are ancient. We're talking like during the time of the pyramids and everything. So yes, time was the first thing we were ever able to measure. And they did it based on the position of the sun. And then you gotta, you know, remember that they thought the earth was the center of the universe and that the sun spun around it. Anyway, details on that. So we were able to measure time first, but what does time mean more recently to us? Like, what is time? Well, the actual creation of the clock wasn't so much about measuring the position of the sun, but more like being in tune with the vibrations of quartz. So there was quartz inside old clocks, not the mechanical ones that were before that, because those were all based on mechanical properties and everything. But the idea was that it was the vibrations of quartz which vibrated at a very precise amount. And that was the very first basis of what a second is. A second is the vibration, non-vibration, vibration, okay? Simply put. However, more recently, they have decided to redo that, and what they ended up doing is they defined time as the amount of distance a particle of light could travel in, you know, a matter of seconds. It's kind of dumb, but they're using time to measure how fast light goes. But it's the distance, like how far can light go in a single second. Like that is what they use to calculate time. Doesn't matter, but what I really want to point out there is that the energy flow of a light particle isn't just one light particle. You're talking about a bunch of light, like including the light that's blinding me right now from the sun. So it's a lot of light all at once. So time is not just a single particle, but it's all the light being produced, all the light that's coming out of the sun, all the energy that is coming out of the sun. And not just the sun, but every single star in the universe. Just because it's daylight right now doesn't mean that those stars aren't shining, okay? I don't know how many people still think that, oh, you know, there's the sun's up, so all the stars are not shining and everything, but they are. So not only is it the light coming from the sun, but it's all the other stars out there in the universe that make up light energy, that make up time. And all that energy, that's a lot of energy. And effectively, time travel, and we're talking about any form of energy at that point. We're talking about all forms of energy and how far it's going to travel within a given time frame across the entire universe. And time travel, in an essence, is a reversion of that energy. You're reverting that energy back to its origin, back to where it was at the time that you're wanting to go back to. So if we're talking like 15 seconds from now, we have to revert all the energy in the universe back 15 seconds. That includes the energy that you've absorbed. Now, you may be thinking, well, you don't have to. You could just go back and not worry about that. Well, that's going to create a void of energy, okay? Simply put, it's going to create problems. And the idea that you could reverse all of that energy, like most scientists have a big enough problem with the idea of infinity, okay? You're talking about enough energy to wind back infinity. And depending on how far back you're going, you're multiplying that. So 15 seconds back, well, you gotta multiply that energy by 15 times. So 15 times infinity. You have to send it out a lot. Like the amount of energy you would have to send out. The other problem is the time that it would take to actually revert all that energy. You're not going to do that instantaneously. I'm sorry, you're not. And even if you think like wormholes and everything, you still have the problem of the energy has to be back where it was at that time frame. That includes the energy that you have absorbed. Sunlight, food, you know, water, whatever. Like any form of energy has to revert back to where it was at the point that you want to go back to. So you're talking an infinite amount of energy to rewind basically all of that energy. And that includes what's inside of you. So yeah, you're not going to be able to do it. Like time travel to the past simply is not possible. You're talking about an infinite amount of energy trying to affect effectively what particles are, in essence, is a linear progression. They go from one point outwards to another, like wherever they end up. And you can't really invert that. You can't really reverse that. It's a forward progression. And even if you think you can, like most people think, well, you can reverse a car, why can't you reverse a particle? No. You're used to thinking of reversing something as in the opposite direction it was going. I'm not actually reversing the car. I'm causing the car to go in a different direction than what it was, but essentially what I'm doing is changing the forward progression. That's all I'm doing. I'm changing the forward progression from forward out in front of me to behind me. We're still moving in a forward direction. It's just because you're thinking like, no, that's the rear of the car, so you're reversing. You're not thinking of that correctly. My point there is that the energy we are expending is still going to a forward point. Even if it's in the opposite direction of what an item is facing, it is still moving forward, okay? And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and that's why, like, the energy going outward that creates what we understand as time is not reversible. You cannot reverse that. In fact, there's like I was saying, there's too much energy to even reverse. I mean, you just simply can't, okay? You cannot reverse the flow of energy. You can send it back to where it came from, but it's still going in a forward direction. You've just changed what direction is forward. So now forward is where it came from. It is the opposite direction that it was going. It's still moving forward though. Anyway, I'm about to pull into my place of employment, so if any of that makes any sense for you, leave a comment. Definitely leave a like, and think about subscribing, please, because, you know, we're still a very small channel. I would like it to grow. I was hoping that we would hit 100 viewers, but this job that I'm working now, I just don't have the time to do anything. Anyway, I will see you guys later, and I'm Natanis Likens, and subscribe. Bye.